Hi there guys, welcome back. Okay, so there we have it. The New Zealand All Blacks are better at rugby than the Lions, and we'll see you later. Is it? Do we need a bit more?
That is pretty much the summary of what happened on Saturday. Like you say, I think the All Blacks were just in a different class.
Yeah.
I thought the Lions' first 5 minutes were superb. Really pressured the All Blacks, and then after that first 5 minutes, the All Blacks kind of changed the gear, and that was it.
The Lions actually, in some ways, didn't play that badly.
No.
Okay, they're a good side, and they did some really good things. It's just the All Blacks are a different level.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what we thought, it's what we kind of predicted, and we saw it. So in some ways that's good, we saw the reality.
Yeah.
And it was a great match. A couple of days later now, looking back on it, we actually go, wow, that was some amazing rugby there.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go through the game as I made notes on it throughout the game, and then we're going to pick up on the themes.
Yeah.
I used a speech to text on my phone, it was quite good actually. It was like therapy during the game. Record what's going on, keep an eye on the game, and then try and give myself a bit of therapy as the Lions were losing it. But anyway, going through it, first of all, the first thing I was thinking in the first 5 minutes, okay, the Lions had a great chance.
Yeah.
They got the kick-off back, they attacked really well, quick phases, and then I believe it was Daly couldn't get over in the corner.
Yeah.
All they had to do really was either be patient, a bit of creativity, and they would have been over. And if they'd scored in that first 5 minutes, wow, that could have changed the game.
Different complexion on the start, wasn't it? If they'd scored that chance.
And I think that just summarises the whole tour.
Yeah, no, I think so. It's that being ruthless, and when you've got the ball, you've got to finish your chances.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the difference for me watching the game was every time the New Zealand side got into the Lions 22, they came away with something.
Well, actually,
be it points or a try.
I would beg to differ with you there slightly. They did make mistakes.
Yeah, they
did make mistakes. It's just that because they convert a high percentage, we kind of think they always convert them.
Yeah.
They don't always convert them, but they just convert more of them.
Yeah.
So they did make mistakes, but I take your point.
Yeah.
They are more clinical.
Because the Lions in that first half especially had a lot of territory in the New Zealand 22, and I think if they'd come away with points,
they were started well.
Kind of 6 out of 10 times they were in there, that's a very different start to the game.
And then I was going through looking at Conor Murray's box kicks, and they were good. They were on the money, and they got the ball back a bit. However, it just didn't seem like that was a good enough game plan to beat the All Blacks. They're just too good at dealing with that.
Yeah.
And when the Lions later in the game went through good phases, I hated it when they stopped their good phases to slow down and put the box kick up because that was the game plan.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. No. Anyway, when the All Blacks got the ball for the first time, straight away I made a note that they've got to slow this All Black ball down.
Yeah,
because my God, they attack fast.
Yeah.
Over the game line, with support, quick ball away, and often an offload.
Yeah.
And it was just, the Lions were going back and back and back and back. What did you think about that, the All Blacks attack?
I think it's just that they're so good at keeping their hands free in the tackle. And that's, I mean, Sonny Bill's obviously the one that everybody talks about.
Retallick was the guy that
was
stood
amazing on Saturday. Just that ability to break with his arms, that first half of the tackle, get his hands free and deliver that pass. And it's not necessarily the offload, it's the passing into the stomach of the guy. Sam Cane a few times was the recipient of those.
And because they do it all their lives, they've been doing it all season,
Yeah.
they're not panicking about this. They're not thinking, oh, we have to get the offload. It's just, if it's there, we give it, and it's just automatic.
Yeah, I think another thing that is they're a lot more dynamic, the Kiwis. They're much more, they take the ball at pace a lot of the time. All their forwards are on the charge as they take the ball. The Lions, I think,
I didn't mind.
a little bit static.
A little bit, possibly, but I think that was more down to their game plan than what they can do. I thought the Lions attacked really well in places, and they have the ability to play like the All Blacks were playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not the offloads, etc. But the other thing I thought, actually, tell me what you think, guys. The Lions' defence is built on that line speed, yeah? I think they were deliberately not contesting the ruck as hard as they could have.
Yeah.
And they were hoping to fan out and get the press on and get the advantage like they did against the Crusaders. And I think the All Blacks just attacked so fast and so accurately, and Aaron Smith just whizzed that ball away so quickly, they never had the chance to get their press defence.
No.
Maybe they need to revise that and compete a bit harder at the breakdown. Easier said than done. Committing players to the breakdown does mean you have less players out wide, more chance of giving away penalties. But literally 5-6 times throughout this game, I was making a note, they must slow the ball down, and they couldn't.
Yeah, and I think that comes back to when Sam Warburton came on with the kind of 20 minutes to go. He then started to disrupt the ball, and they didn't have quite as much going forwards because he was there slowing it down.
There you go, 53 minutes, Warburton on for Omani. Makes sense because they have to slow the ball down. Omani actually played pretty well, I thought. He did well in the line-out, stole some good ball. But yeah, maybe next test, maybe they will have to play Warburton and try and target that breakdown more. Because it was just a riot. I mean, the All Blacks were just running forward at such pace. 16 minutes, I just made a note. Aaron Smith pass is a thing of beauty. Greg Laidlaw, have a watch. Other scrum halves, have a watch. No backlift, no step, gone, bullet pass. That's how you play. And he's super quick. Burned Murray a few times off the base of the scrum. The All Blacks attacked down the blind. Murray was tracking Smith, and then all of a sudden Murray was gone and Smith had the offload. I don't know. Different class. Okay. 17 minutes. Going too fast. Right. Then the try from Taylor in the corner. Really interesting. Okay. His positioning is exactly the same as Dane Coles does. Okay, so they hadn't changed their pattern of play. They leave Dane Coles on the wing a lot of the times because he's as good as a wing. And they trusted Taylor. They left him on the wing. And that was amazing. That try they scored wasn't a quick penalty.
No, it wasn't.
They had in my head, I thought that was a quick tap penalty.
No, it wasn't.
But I watched it back. They had the penalty. They were looking. The Lions had loads of time to organise. And then instead of, they didn't nominate a goal, then he tapped and they went. And, Teo had time to line up his man, but he was well off his man. Daly was in complete no man's land. Great score from Taylor in the corner.
Good finish. The penalty count for me, I don't know whether you've got that down there.
No, I didn't really count the penalty.
Again, they were really good for the Crusaders. Penalty count was low, they win the game. Penalty count against the All Blacks first test, double figures.
Well, I think that's largely because the All Blacks were so quick over the game line and the defence was retreating so quickly. You almost have to give away penalties, or it's very hard not to. When you're retreating that quickly, not being caught for offside, very hard on things like that. 27 minutes, Ben Smith goes off. And there's me grasping at straws, of course, and I thought maybe this could be a turning point.
Anybody else but Bowden Barrett, I think. It could have been, but he's on another planet, isn't he?
He is pure class. He slotted into fullback, and he was brilliant.
Yeah, he was.
Absolute class. Aaron Cruden comes on. The All Black attack doesn't miss a beat.
No.
However, he's not as good a player as Barrett. I did make a note that on Williams' breakout for that brilliant Lions try.
Yeah, superb.
I think Barrett, Cruden tracked Williams across the pitch and couldn't make the tackle. I think Barrett maybe could because he's that bit quicker. So maybe they lost a little bit, but not particularly.
No.
Barrett, still the best player in the world, along with Retallick, I think they're forward and back best player in the world. Lions line-out was working well. I've made a note, 29 minutes. Good steal from Omani. Matoji had a great steal towards the end of the game. It wasn't enough to swing the game.
No.
But it's a strong point for the Lions.
Definitely.
That's a positive.
And it's nice to have those kind of small areas of the game where the Lions are definitely dominant. The line out, not necessarily dominant, but I think
they had the upper hand. It didn't make the difference in the game, but they definitely had good ball off the line out and they stole some good ball. I like that. So well done to them there. Okay, on 35 minutes, big game change. Liam Williams, unbelievable sidestep. Burns Cruden, brilliant link up here with Daly, Davis, O'Brien. It was a great try. Okay, that is what it's all about. That is what rugby is all about.
Yeah, it was a great try. That's on the highlight reels, I think, for years to come. But I think what I liked most about that was the running lines they all took.
Brilliant.
Daly's kind of out to in to then back out to draw the space for Davis on the inside.
It was really
Jonathan Davis
good.
out to then back in for the space for Sean O'Brien.
And that's why that back three was chosen. For that. Okay, they did make a couple of mistakes, I thought, in defence. Watson got caught out of position. I said Daly got caught out of position. But in general, it looks like, that was a good decision.
Yeah, and for me, I think that back three, they've not done anything calamitous to go, No, he's out.
A couple
He's
of
out.
errors, but we'll talk about changes maybe at the end. Farrell's conversion attempt, his kicking's not quite right.
No, it's not.
You guys out there, if anyone's a place kicking specialist, what's going on? Is it maybe his quad's a bit tricky? He's not striking it right. It's not flying end over end right.
No.
He's getting a bit of a hook on it. Not looking right at all there. Not that it made any difference in the game. We didn't have enough kicking opportunities at goal to make any difference.
Yeah, exactly.
And into the second half, Watson made another great break. He looked quite lively. He looked decent there. Looking very dangerous. Now, then the great break from the scrum from the All Blacks. Kieran Reid's scoop off the floor. I think it was a free play, so he kind of just went for it.
Yeah.
Was that it? And then brilliant hand. Watson caught in no man's land. Dag makes a great play over the top.
Yeah.
A safe over the top pass rather than the Tyg Furlong panic chuck it away over the top pass.
Yeah.
Poor lad, that was a big error.
Yeah.
What a great try. I don't know if I got the right timing on that, but that was a great try. Toje on for Jones, no surprise, pretty much at half time.
I thought Alaman Jones, unfortunately, I thought he was pretty poor in the first half. The amount of handling errors and open play really kind of. I think he must have knocked the ball on maybe 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
he just looked a bit off the boil.
And also, if you're going to put a Toje on at 47 minutes, why not start him? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think he will start next game.
Yeah.
We thought it was an error before. It looked like an error in the game. Not sure why they didn't realise that, but that was irritating.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the timing of the substitutions from Gatland actually was pretty good. Yeah. Toje came on 47 minutes. Sinclair came on 50-something minutes.
Because Toje wasn't starting, the timing was right. You're absolutely right. Every note I've made in here, I thought the substitutions were good. McGrath came on at the right time to try and solidify the scrum when it was raining.
Yeah, I agree.
For the breakdown.
Yeah. The only one I don't agree with was Rhys Webb at 9. I would have had Rhys Webb on because you can see the tempo wasn't. You want to try and up the tempo, and as soon as he came on with, I think maybe 20 minutes to go, something like that, the tempo upped, and actually we looked a lot more dangerous going forward.
This is okay. Go on. We'll do this now. Then now let's talk about tactics now. Now. The Lions' tactics was a kick-chase tactic. Okay?
Yeah.
So I think Murray starting was the right call if you're going to play that tactic.
Yeah.
However, that tactic looks like it's not good enough to beat the All Blacks.
No, my thought initially, and when I saw it on Saturday, the first half, I thought, why are we doing this? It's so negative to start with because you're just playing territory and it's not working.
But that's what they've been practicing the whole tour.
I would go. You start with your tempo, you start Rhys Webb, you start with the guys that are going to kind of put the pressure on the All Blacks from the whistle, from the start. You smash them in the first half, quick tempo, turn it over. Second half, you then play the territory game. Conor Murray comes on, 20 minutes to go, you then play the territory game. Kick the corners, chase well, and put them under pressure in that way.
I mean, I don't know, I'm not undecided, but I think what we did see there is Rhys Webb, his tempo, his pace, his offloads and his linking for that last try was phenomenal.
Yeah,
he is so much the best scrum half for pace on the game.
Yeah.
However, his box kicking is nowhere near as good as Conor Murray.
It's not.
What you need, here's the solution. Start Aaron Smith or TJ Perenara.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but we don't have them. So and that is the case in point. New Zealand players are better than our players.
They are.
If we go to the end point here, they're all round better.
Yeah.
Vitalik is strong and hard and has a great carry, good in the lineup, and he can offload. That's what you need. You need a scrum half who's got a great pass, he's really quick, and he can kick.
Yeah. I mean, something that Rhys Webb identified when he came on was there was a lot of space around the ruck.
Yeah.
And a couple of times he's picked and gone, shown the dummy and gone through it, and there's a big hole either side of the ruck that he's obviously exploited and seen that as the game's developed, that he's quick enough to identify that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Towards the end of the game, it is slightly easier to make those breaks, but he did make a hell of a difference when he came on.
Yeah.
It's 60 minutes here. I pretty much knew that game was over. They played a really good phase of play, the All Blacks, got another 3 points. Ali Severe is like a perfect impact sub. From the forwards, he was brilliant. And they were turning the screw, and it was just looking like how many points can the All Blacks score. But then Webb came on, changed the game a bit, scored that great try at the end. Sinclair also came on and made those huge carries and those big breaks.
He was great when he came on.
He's been great every time.
He was great when he came on.
He's got a case to start. I mean, you could say, would he make those breaks at the beginning of the game when people are fresher? Definitely not. But he's got a case to start. Okay, and then there's a few other thoughts really here, but the game was gone, so I was kind of drifting off really, thinking about next week. But it was a good game. And thinking back to the last video, I gave the Lions a kind of 1 in 5, 1 in 4 chance of winning, 20% chance, and that's what it looked like. You know, and in the beginning of our series here, I was saying the most likely result is 3-0 All Blacks. And I wasn't being negative. I was just saying kind of what logic said, and that's what we saw in the game. There's so many newspapers and articles during the week saying Lions are going to win. Obviously not everyone, but I just couldn't believe how many people generally thought the Lions were definitely going to win. Whereas we thought, they could win and they have the chances, but they probably weren't.
They've got to play well for 80 minutes, haven't they? Absolutely. I think, to beat the All Blacks.
Anyway, and then just a couple of other notes. Why does Sexton run like a hunchback? I don't know. Can anyone answer that one? I was just getting towards the end. So let's just summarise really. So in general, the All Blacks just showed how to play rugby. And I hope the Lions do change their tactics and run a bit more. Because that's when they look dangerous. I don't mean play in your own half. Use kicking, get out of danger. Use the box kick, yes. But if you've got a flowing attack, play. I don't think they will. I think Gatland will stay with this stop and box kick tactic. But I think we've seen it's not just good enough, and there's no time left to dilly-dally. This is it. They have to win the next game.
I just don't think it worked.
Well, it didn't work. It didn't work. They gave it a go, and it didn't work. They couldn't get any line speed in defence. The kicks were okay, but they're not good enough to beat the All Blacks.
But I think the players that they play against on a weekly basis, they're not in the same counter-attacking kick return as the All Blacks.
Well, and the warm-up games against the Maori, the Crusaders, they're good teams, but they're nowhere near as good as the All Blacks. The All Blacks are completely different gravy.
Exactly.
But they show they can do it if they get everything right. So they've got a chance. Personnel changes. We're going to have to wait a little bit till the next game, the tour game. But what are you thinking, Alex?
For me, I think he's probably picked the best squad. At that 23, I think probably the best 23.
You could argue maybe Tipperick for something different, something like that.
I agree.
But I don't know. There's some other ones you could argue. But I don't think there's a lot that personnel are going to make.
No, and I don't think it needs a lot of changes.
No.
For me, I think something's got to give with either Farrell's place kicking. He's got to do a lot of work this week, or you're then forced to start Sexton, or you're forced to start Halfpenny just for that kicking.
I mean, players that played well. I thought Jonathan Davis was excellent.
He was.
I thought he was absolutely top notch.
Ben Teo, superb, I thought.
Well, you say that, but I think he made some blunders as well. I'm a little bit different on that one because he made a big defensive blunder for Taylor's try, I thought, and also he butchered a massive attacking opportunity. He could have made an overlap and he cut it and lost his footing. So that took the gloss off for me. So I wouldn't be too upset if they maybe just went for a Sexton Farrell 10-12 with Sexton kicking a goal and gave that a go, because I don't think they've really got anything to lose now.
No, they haven't.
In some ways. I know the series is on the line, but the All Blacks have clearly got the better of them with this tactic.
I agree.
And I think they need to change and say, we need to run a bit more. We need to actually try to play a bit more rugby.
I agree.
Anyway, right, so we'll be back after the next game, the next tour game, next midweek game, just to see if there's anything we've picked up from that. We don't think there's going to be a huge amount of change, but you never know.
Be nice to see some players stick their hands up. George North, it would be nice to see have a good game.
Absolutely. But anyway, tell us your thoughts. Tell us if you think it's a mainly tactical problem or if there are massive problems with selection. We just think the All Blacks were better, and that's generally why they won, just better skill level. Absolutely.
We kept kicking the ball away.
And that was our tactic. Anyway, we'll stop rambling on. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.